guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be doing our July bullet journal setup. Where's the time gone? Like, I swear I thought June just started yesterday. How is it already July? Anyways, for this month's theme, well, I wouldn't say it's a theme. I'm not exactly sure what to call it. I guess it's just like black and white, and then it has like a splash of color in it. So yeah, that's the best thing I can do to describe it. I guess you're just gonna have to see for yourself what it looks like. Oh well, you know, it's in the thumbnail. Oh yeah, it's in the thumbnail. That's what this month's theme is gonna be like, and I hope you like it. I feel like this theme is really me because it doesn't involve any drawing, and if you know me, you know I don't draw because yeah, let's just get into the video, shall we?
Alright, for this month's setup, I actually condensed everything into 4 pages. I know that's very much less than what a lot of people do, but I find that I think this way will just make it much more efficient for me and help me reduce the wastage of any unnecessary space. Alright, so my first page, this used to be my quote page, but I'm making it my calendar page. So I have a sidebar on the left that's just some black paper, and that just contains my growth tracker and any important dates that I need to remember. So I'm writing that out in white pen, as you can see right here, and I'm going to just stick that onto the page. Now for the main part of the page, I'm going to have the actual calendar, and then there's just going to be a number 7 going right through the page with the header July 2020 at the top. I colored this number 7 in with bright red because I find that it provides a very clear contrast with the black and white that surrounds it, and so it just gives you some, you know, a very clear attention, a very clear spot for your eyes to just settle on. Yeah, that's what I mean. I like the way it looks, so I stuck with it. At the bottom, I added a tiny sidebar with the start of the one and only quote we have for this month, which is "I can." This is the first part. The second part of the quote will be in the last page, and no prizes for guessing what it is. Now, the part of the quote is surrounded by these geometric shapes. That's what I call them, at least. They're just some spirals, some triangles, and some lines and dots to fill in the spaces between them. The words itself were filled up with brown, using the brown brush pen from the same set as the red one, and then I just erased the guidelines with the eraser. Alright, for the cover page, it's the same thing as the quote page, basically just enlarged. It's the same spiral pattern with the triangles around it, and then the lines and dots to fill in the spaces between them. As for the word July itself, I actually fill this out with red because I find that just doing that just gives you a really nice contrast, and it just guides your eyes towards the Julys, you know, so you're just drawn to it because of this sudden burst of color in between all this sea of monotony. So yeah, that's my cover page. I really like it. I actually think I should do things like this more often, and I would if it wasn't for the fact that the spirals and triangles just take forever to draw. So yeah. The font I'm going for in this month is just more of this roundish block letters. Are these block letters? I'm not exactly sure what to call them, so I'm just gonna call them these rounded blobs that are just disguising themselves as letters. And yeah. Moving on to my next page, this is my tracker page, so it's going to have my habit tracker and my mood tracker. In the center, it's just going to have the header that just says track, because these are trackers. What else would you say about them? I'm one of those kind of people who will fill in their habit tracker and then forget about their mood tracker, or vice versa, and I hope that doing this, putting them both in the same page, is going to help me just remember to fill them both out. Alright, because there's no point having a tracker if you don't use it. So yeah, I hope you can see how this is going to work. It's not really clear cut right now, but basically for my habit tracker, I'm going to have the categories of the habits that I'm going to track, and then I'm going to have like tiny calendars below them. And how it's going to work is, if I do a specific habit, then I will ink in the date that I did that habit in white ink, and if I didn't, I'm just going to leave the pencil background behind it. As you can see, I just pencil in the days, the tiny calendars, and I will just go over them with white ink if I did that habit on that particular day. For my mood tracker, it's basically what I did in April. It's just simplified and condensed, so it's just a graph that goes from 0 to 10 and from day 1 to day 31st, because there are 31 days in July. And yeah, it's just a line graph. That's just it. At the bottom there are numbers 1 to 31, so that I can give any notes if I wanted to make a note if a day was particularly good, bad, or if I just wanted to comment something there. I actually messed up my header the first time I did it, so I had to do it again. And yeah, it's the same thing as it's using the same font as earlier. Now it's just white ink on a black background. Okay, moving on to my next page. This is my playlist spread that's condensed together with my to-do list, and that's just because I find that I don't really use my to-do list that much. Most of the time I just have a task, do it, and then realize I didn't write it at all, so I didn't use the page. So in the end I just realized that I don't use that much space after all, so I'm just going to put it as a sidebar to my playlist. And then at the bottom, there's just a tiny section for me to write any reminders I want to remember. And yeah, that's kind of it. On the top, that's the continuation for the quote. So I can, and I will. Simple. The spirals and geometric shapes are just a tie back in with the theme. And then now I'm just going to ink in any things I need to ink in, which is the mood tracker and the headers for the habits. Yeah. After that, to tie everything back with the theme, I went through with a line with that red brush pen, and I just erased any guidelines. Alright, this is the final flip through for this month's setup. Hope you like it. It's simple, but I think it's going to work, so.
I hope you guys liked that video. If you did, do give me a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you would like some notifications whenever I post, and yeah, that's it for this week's video. I hope... Wait, I said that already. No. That's it. I'm Rachel, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye!